Armstrong, and a very warm welcome to Pointless, the show where obvious answers mean nothing and obscure answers mean everything. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hi, Xander. My name's Dec. This is my friend Ros, and we're from Devizes.
Couple number two.
My name's Lexi, this is my dad Andy, and we're from Englefield Green in Surrey.
Couple number three.
Hello, my name's VJ, this is my husband Andrew, and we're from Sandwich in Kent.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, my name's Adam, this is my mum Jill, and we're from Maidstone in Kent.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. A very warm welcome to Pointless. Wonderful to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, here to take us on the road less travelled before dropping us off at some random bus stop to find our own way home. It's my Pointless friend. It's Richard.
Hiya.
Hey, everybody.
Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
What a run of shows we've had. We've given away the jackpot 3 times in a row.
What are we, a charity?
It's amazing, isn't it? Pointless jackpots are like buses in that they are chronically underfunded. Welcome back to returning pairs. VJ and Andrew got knocked out in round 1. Be nice to see a bit more of you today, I'm sure we will. And Adam and Jill, we got through to round 2 as well. And 2 lovely new pairs on the first 2.
I know, that's nice. Can we talk a bit about Devizes?
Yes, because we've had some weird things going on, haven't we?
Yeah, we flagged up a while ago. There are various places around the UK that we felt were underrepresented. We hadn't had people, for example, from Morpeth.
Yes.
And you said people from Devizes.
Yes.
Now, it's very rare we have a show that doesn't have people from Devizes or Morpeth.
I know. It's amazing, right?
Well, let's get on with it. Thank you very much. Dave and Rory won our jackpot last time, so today's jackpot starts off back at £1,000. There we are. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. As ever, it will be the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that we will be eliminating, so just keep your scores as low as you can and you'll have nothing to fear. Best of luck to all 4 pairs. Our first category today is definitions. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns words in Armstrong. Words in Armstrong.
Yeah, we did this the other day, didn't we, with Words in My Name. This is a round we've stolen from Richard Osman's House of Games. But if you can't steal from yourself, who can you steal from? On each board, we're going to show you 7 definitions of words. Every single letter in those words is somewhere in the name Armstrong. So 7 on the first board, 7 on the second, 14 in all to have a go at home. All the answers are contained somewhere within some of the letters of Armstrong.
Do you know, when we had Osman, we had all kinds of interesting and very telling words.
Well, we did Richard Osman, didn't we?
We did Richard
Which was
Osman,
easier.
that's right,
I think just Osman would have been hard.
Yeah. Well, let's see what definitions we can find in Armstrong. Let's hope they're flattering. Here's our first board of 7. Having or showing a quick-witted intelligence. That's nice. S. A cup-shaped receptacle in which ingredients are crushed or ground. M. A person skilled in cutting, dressing and laying stone in buildings. M. A feeling of deep anxiety or dread. A. Hardy domesticated mammal with backward curving horns and a beard. G. A system for the detection of objects underwater using sound. S. And a ballroom dance originating in Buenos Aires. T. I'm going to read those all again. Having or showing a quick-witted intelligence, a cup-shaped receptacle in which ingredients are crushed or ground, a person skilled in cutting, dressing and laying stone in buildings, a feeling of deep anxiety or dread, hardy domesticated mammal with backward curving horns and a beard, a system for the detection of objects underwater using sound, and a ballroom dance originating in Buenos Aires. There we are. Dec, welcome.
Good evening.
From Devizes.
Yes.
That hardly needs to be said these days. It's just taken as read. From Devizes. Dec, tell us all about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm retired. We've lived in Devizes for quite some time now. I keep busy with... I like music. I'm very fond of music, so I have a small collection of guitars and a banjo. But I think P.G. Woodhouse said a definition of a gentleman is someone who owns a banjo but doesn't play it.
And are you a gentleman in that definition?
Indubitably, yes.
Absolutely. Does it hang on a wall, the banjo?
It's on a rack with my other guitars, but it's...
How many guitars have you got when you say small collection?
Half a dozen.
What's
Just one too few, I think, is always the case when you're collecting guitars.
What's the guitar you are proudest of?
I have a Gibson SG, which is the one that the guys in AC/DC play. But it's also been used by Les Paul to play jazz, which is more my thing, so... OK, well, very good indeed. Now, Dec, words, definitions. What do you think is going to be the lowest scoring answer there? Well, I've got a feeling that one in the middle is a foreignish sounding word, is angst.
Angst, says Dec. Let's see how many of our 100 people said angst. It is angst. There we are, 20. Angst and Dec proving a fabulous partnership on podium 1.
I think the audience were applauding, so they missed your angst and deck joke, which was very, very
well,
good.
there we are. I put it in there, just, you know.
But I can't top that.
Andy, welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
I give you a bit of a fright there.
Give me a shock.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Tell us all about yourself, Andy.
I work as a part-time fruit and veg man in a supermarket, and the part-time leaves me enough time to walk my dog every day, which is one of my pleasures.
That's very nice. What sort of dog have you got?
Well, she's a young lass from Battersea. She's probably about 13 now, so we're not sure exactly what she was, but she's probably a Labrador and a Staffy.
Ah,
A Stabrador.
a Stabrador. Indeed. That could sound nicer, couldn't it? So, Andy, what are you going to go for on our board here?
Right. I think I'm going to go for a system for the detection of objects underwater using sound, and that will be sonar.
Sonar, says Andy. Let's see how many of our 100 people said sonar. It's right. Down it goes to 48. Not bad.
Yeah, it comes from sound navigation ranging, originally developed as a way to spot icebergs.
Thank you very much, Richard. BJ,
Hello.
welcome back to Pointless.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, BJ, once again.
I am a big Disney fan and a big animal lover and a massive bookworm. Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Do you read electronically or do you buy physical
I do
books?
both. I'm a big fan of libraries. So, like coming here, normally I'd wanted to bring masses of books because I'll have a book I'm reading at night and I'll have a nice, easy reading book and I'll be rereading classics. But if you've got a tablet, then you can have them all there. And an audiobook, of course.
How many books at a time do you read?
Normally about 7.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Well, well done you. And you keep track of all these things separately, can you?
I have a brain that works with stories.
Brilliant.
Most of my pointless facts come from books that I've read.
That's perfect. Perfect. Now, VJ, the board is yours.
Yes, well, there's one I can't get and it's driving me nuts. But there's one that I do know because my grandfather was a pharmacist and he used to use one back in the days when they ground everything up. And sitting in their dining room, once he had retired, was a pestle and mortar.
Mortar, says VJ. Let's see how many of our 100 people said mortar. There we are. Mortar, the cup-shaped receptacle, of course, on the board. Down it goes to 33. Very well done indeed.
Nicely played. Good thing to have in your name. That's, originally used for grinding corn, a mortar, and then in pharmacies. But people tend to use them in their kitchens now. You watch all those cookery shows and they're all doing something or other with a pestle and mortar.
Quite fun, though.
Is it?
Quite fun, yeah, with spices. Now, Jill, welcome back. Welcome back. We had to say goodbye to you in round 2 last time.
That's right, yes.
Let's hope we don't see a repeat of that,
Fingers
Jill.
crossed.
Remind us all about yourself.
I work part-time in the barristers' chambers and my hobby is to play the ukulele. So.
I always love I mean, chambers just sounds so much more fun than an office somehow. Barristers' chambers, it just sounds so grand. You imagine being sort of hung about with velvet.
It's a little bit dusty at times.
And a bit dusty. That's the other. That's the flip side of that.
Yes.
What do you do in the barristers' chambers?
I deal with their invoices.
I see.
So some of them are to do with the barristers' work themselves, but I think most importantly, I make sure the electricity bill is paid so that everyone can keep working.
Important. Got that stack of 50p's ever present on the desk. Yes. OK, now, Jill, you're the last person to have this board. Would you like to talk us through it?
Well, very embarrassingly, I can't think what having or showing quick-witted intelligence could possibly be, so we'll move over that one. A person laying stone is a mason. The domestic animal is a goat, and the dance is a tango. I will go with the stone builders and mason, please.
You're going to go for mason. OK, let's see how many of our 100 people said mason. It's right. 48 the high score, 60 for Mason.
Yeah, the Masons used to be the architects and engineers as well as being the craftspeople. But that's an anagram of my surname, which means my surname is in your surname.
I know.
Whoa. That's blown my mind.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No.
Shall we take a look at the rest of these? Everyone's having trouble with the top one, so we'll leave that to the end, I think. The ballroom dance originated in Buenos Aires. Tango. Scored 62 points. The domesticated mammal.
'Tis a goat.
'Tis a goat. 65. And the top one that's causing us all trouble, ironically, is...
Smart.
Smart. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? And why is that so difficult?
Well, it caused 100 trouble as well. 90 is actually the best answer on the board. Yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 20 Deck, very well done indeed. Deck and Roz, very much at the front of the field. Then we travel up to 33, where we find Andrew and VJ. 48, where we find Andy and Lexi. And then 60, Jill and Adam. So, Adam, you get the new board. Don't go too easy on yourself. We need a low score. We need a kind of smart answer from you, if you see what I'm saying. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more definitions up on the board, and here they are. A large country house with lands. M. List showing when people have to do a particular job. R. A woman in charge of domestic and medical arrangements at a boarding school or other institution. M. A self-contained part of an organism with a specific function. O. An inert gaseous element of the noble gas group. A. Having the power to perform physically demanding tasks. S. And a fleshy, oval, yellowish-red tropical fruit sometimes used in chutney. M. I shall read those definitions one more time. A large country house with lands. List showing when people have to do a particular job. A woman in charge of domestic and medical arrangements at a boarding school or other institution. A self-contained part of an organism with a specific function. An inert gaseous element of the noble gas group. Having the power to perform physically demanding tasks. And a fleshy, oval, yellowish-red tropical fruit sometimes used in chutney. Adam, welcome back to Pointless. Remind us all about yourself.
I am an auditor. I'm a passionate guitar player as well, so perhaps Deck and I'll have a jam later.
You should.
And I also lived abroad in my childhood, and that furnished me with one answer for...
Absolutely, Indonesia. So you grew up in Indonesia then?
Yeah, I spent about 3 years in Indonesia. It was a long while ago, but yeah, brilliant time.
Good stuff. Now, Adam, there you are. You're the high scorers at the moment. We need something clever from you here.
Well, I'm feeling OK with this board. I'm a big fan of House of Games, so I've played this a few times.
Thank you. But finally, someone said it.
I'm going to go with the third from the bottom and say Argon.
Argon, says Adam. OK, no red line for you. You are the high scorers at the moment. Let's see how far down the board we get with Argon. That's very good indeed. 24. That's what we needed. 84 is your total.
Yeah, Argon is the shop where they keep all the other elements.
Thank you very much, Richard. Andrew, welcome back to Pointless.
Thank you very much.
Remind us all about yourself, Andrew.
I'm a lab manager from Sandwich in Kent, so I manage a small team of chemists doing research there.
What sort of research are you doing?
So all sorts of research around organic chemistry. So we make chemicals to order for all sorts of industries, so pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals, things that might go into phone LED screens, all of that type of thing.
You're making them on site?
So we make the chemicals that will then be used by others to make those devices, yeah.
And I'm picturing something a bit like Breaking Bad.
Oh, well, that's living the dream, isn't it? In terms of the amount of kit they've got available.
Oh, I see what you mean, yes, in terms of kit.
That's super.
But is it that kind of a process, though? I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we've got some people who work on that kind of scale, and we've got some people who make very, very small amounts as well, so just a few grains of salt of things to go off for varying uses. Yeah.
Very specialist, bespoke chemical works.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Andrew, there you are, 33. If you can score 50 or less, you're into the next round.
Absolutely. Well, I was very disappointed that the element I've used, argon, in the past has been taken, but there's another science-based one up there, and that's the one above, so I'll go for that. So a self-contained part of an organism with a specific function, I believe, is an organ.
An organ. An organ, says Andrew. Here is your red line. Get below that with organ, and you are through to the next round. Organ is right. Through you go, Andrew. 16. Very well done. Our lowest score so far. So actually, good job. You didn't go for argon. Takes your total up to 49.
Well played, Andrew. It's a very low score, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, that science thing always freaks people out, doesn't it, I suppose?
OK, now, Lexi, welcome to Pointless. Great to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a recruitment executive at the moment, but I suppose hobby-wise, something I started a few months ago was aerial hoop.
What the?
That's what everyone says.
Aerial hoop?
Yeah, so, you know, like a hoop that hangs from the ceiling, kind of...
Yes.
Cirque du Soleil type, but I'm not that good. I'm not that good
yet.
yet.
A big hoop that you can sit
So
in.
you sit in and hang off and that kind of
And
thing.
you swing.
Yeah.
And you sort of contort on it and hang by your
but I'm
foot.
not that good yet.
Well done you. What a brilliant and exciting thing to have
just
suddenly
something different.
decided to do.
Yeah.
OK, now, Lexi,
Yes.
you are on 48, so 35 or less gets you into the next round.
The two answers that I thought would be the best ones have already been said. So,
That's annoying.
there is other things I know. I'm just trying to work out which one I think would be lower. I think I will go for a list showing when people have to do a particular job. I think I'm going to say rota.
Rota, says Lexi. Here is your red line. Can you get near to that or below that with rota? Let's find out. Rota. Is right. 52 for rota, taking your total up to 100. Nice, neat, round total there.
Yeah, first appeared in the early 17th century, that word, and it comes from the Latin meaning wheel, like rotary and rotor blades and all the same stuff.
Thank you very much, Richard. Ros, a very warm welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Ros.
Well, I'm retired from earning any money, but I seem to work pretty hard doing things. But they're things I want to do, like within the last week I've spent some time sticking false eyelashes onto a plastic pineapple, which I wouldn't have been able to do in my working life.
I only get to do that maybe twice a week. It's just...
Oh, no, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
It's to go into shop windows for a trail during the Devizes Food Festival. Children are going to go out and look for Princess Pineapple and Beardy Pineapple and Disco Pineapple.
I hope the pineapple keeps.
It's a plastic pineapple.
Oh, phew. Phew.
So it probably will.
It probably will. OK, Ros, 20 is where you are at the moment. 79 or less would keep you going. What are you going to go for?
I think I can do them all. That's a scary bit, because then you don't know what other people don't know. The large country house is a manor. The woman in charge is, matron. I think the power to perform physically demanding tasks is strong, which is a bit sort of lazy, really, as it's there in your name. And it's a mango.
That is a hell of a burn to our question writers, by the way.
Sorry.
If that were right.
So I think I can't resist it. I'm going to go for matron.
You're going to go for matron. OK, here's your red line, nice and high. Get below that with matron, and you'll be through to the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it. It's right, and you are through. Very well done. Down it goes to 61, 81 your total.
It's irresistible.
Absolutely. Let's fill the rest of these in. We will leave strong to the end, I think. A large country house is a manor. Would have scored you 30 points, and the fleshy oval, etc., is mango. That would have scored you 65. Now, this is strong, which is literally in your name, but it goes to show sometimes you just got to read the question more carefully, because it only scored 31 points.
Goodness me.
So it's interesting. We discovered that you have a mango in you, a tango in you, and an organ in you.
And a song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. OK, we are at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, Lexi and Andy. I'm so sorry it is you we have to say goodbye to with a high score of 100. And I have no doubt at all you'll do much better next time. But it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much, Lexi and Andy. But for the remaining three pairs, it's now time for round two. Very well done, everybody. We made it through the first round. Particular well done to Andrew, our lowest individual scorer. In fact, Andrew and VJ, our lowest joint scorers. Best of luck to all three pairs. Our category for round two today is energy production. That's fun. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second?
Shall I go first?
And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many top producers of natural gas as they could.
Yes, in 2017, Radio Times did a poll of the TV hosts who pass wind most often. We are not really, although you would do very well. in that poll. We are looking for any country of the world that produces more than 1 billion cubic metres of natural gas, please, in 2017, according to the CIA World Factbook. As always, I mean, a sovereign state that's a member of the UN in its own right. And to give you an idea of how much that is, there are over 60 countries on this list.
Thank you very much indeed, Dec.
It's a tricky one.
It is a tricky one.
Yes.
I mean, it's fun in a sort of lateral thinking kind of way.
It is,
We've
yes.
chucked you something where you can sort of use some kind of logic.
I would have preferred to have the BBC presenters.
Yeah.
Who would you have gone for?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Sue Barker, perhaps.
Yes, she eats a lot of root vegetables, certainly. I'll give her that.
OK. I have absolutely no idea who might be producing natural gas, but I know it's often tied in with production of oil, so I'm going to say Venezuela.
Venezuela, says Dec. Punchy start to the round. Sounds good to me. Let's see if it's right. How many of our 100 people said Venezuela? Absolutely right, Dec. Look at that, 12. Very well done indeed. Great start to that. 12 for Venezuela.
It's a very good answer, isn't it? Yeah, 27 billion cubic metres.
That's enough.
Natural gas, that's enough, isn't it?
Yeah. OK, thank you very much. Andrew?
It's an interesting question, isn't it?
It's an interesting one. I would have thought you, of all people, would have some kind of handle on this.
Well, I wish I would be able to agree with you, Xander. It's something we have to have a bit of think about, actually. But that said, one country does come to mind, which I hope isn't too obvious, and therefore the 100 maybe have overlooked it, shall we say. So I'm going to go for Ukraine.
Ukraine, says Andrew. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Ukraine. It's right. 12 was what Venezuela scored. Ukraine passes that down to 8. Very well done indeed, Andrew.
Well played, Andrew. I'm enjoying seeing the mental gymnastics going on in everyone's head as well, but so far it's worked very nicely.
Playing it very well, if I may say. Jill.
My husband works in the oil industry.
Oh.
And
Here
I
we
never
go.
take any notice of anything he says.
Just a lot of natural gas.
So, I am going to go for Gabon.
Gabon. OK, let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Gabon. Oh, no! Oh, Jill, thank you, though, for those few seconds of thinking we have a genius in our presence. I was loving Gabon.
Yeah, they do produce natural gas, as do most places, but only 500 million cubic metres, I'm afraid. But listen, it is not your fault, it's your husband's fault.
It is, it is.
With all the, what's he talking about? Gabon every 5 seconds.
Don't gab on, sir. Thank you very much. OK, well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. Very well done indeed, Andrew. 8 is the lowest score of the past. Then we travel up to 12, where we find Dec and Ros. Then, I'm afraid, it's quite a hike up to 100, where we find Jill and Adam. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So remember, we're looking for any country that is one of the top producers of natural gas. Adam?
So, I guess I just have to go for broke here. I may be joining the 200 club, but I'm going to go for Vietnam.
Vietnam. No red line. You are the high scorers. Let's see how far down the column we get with Vietnam. Vietnam is right. And it's a pointless answer. Very well done indeed, Adam. That adds £250 to today's jackpot, takes the total up to £1,250, leaves your total at 100. Very well done, Adam.
It's a very good one, yeah. 8 billion cubic metres.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, VJ, you were on 8. This is nice. 91 or less gets you through. But now we've had one pointless answer.
I would love to show off my newly acquired geography knowledge because my geography is terrible. Ask anyone I know and they will just say, you want to feel clever, ask VJ a geography question. So I had thought of a country that I've been looking at the world map. However, given that we only need 90, I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to say Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, says VJ. OK, here is your red line. Can you get below that with Saudi Arabia? Let's find out. It's right, you're through. 23. Surprisingly low. 31, your total.
Yeah, the 8th biggest producers of natural gas in the world, Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Roz.
I'd love to do something wild, but I'm too scared, so I'll say Russia.
Russia, says Roz. Russia. Here is your red line. Get below that. The head-to-head awaits. How many people said Russia? It's right, and you're through, Roz. Very well done. Down it goes to 62. Taking your total up to 74.
Yeah, and they're the second on the list, Russia as well, so very, very safe. I'll tell you the top 5 countries that produce the most natural gas. Canada is 5th, Qatar is 4th, Iran 3rd, Russia 2nd, and the USA are 1st. But let's take a look. There's plenty of pointless answers here. You could have said Angola, Austria, Bolivia, Brunei, Croatia, Cuba, Malaysia, Trinidad and Tobago, there's Vietnam. You could have had Bahrain, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Equatorial Guinea, Hungary, Israel, Mozambique, Myanmar, Papua New Guinea, Timor-Leste, Tunisia and Turkmenistan. Those were all pointless answers. Very well done if you said any of those at home.
There we are. Well, thank you very much indeed. We are at the end of our second round, and I can't bear this. Adam and Jill, you've been magnificent. I'm so sorry. You deserve to have gone much, much further, but it's round 2 again. It's been lovely having you on both shows. Thank you so much for playing. Adam and Jill. But for the remaining 2 pairs, it is now time for our head-to-head. Congratulations, Andrew, VJ, Roz and Dec. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for our jackpot, which currently stands at £1,250. Well, here we are. You can play as a pair from here on in. First pair to win 2 questions in this round will be having a shot at that jackpot.
It's been a fun one today, hasn't it? I liked that gas. I liked some of the thinking in that gas round.
Oh, they were all
It's
good.
impressive. I felt a bit bad, though, for Jill. Hands up who was a bit worried when she said Gabon. There we go.
Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns flatbreads. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 pictures of different flatbreads now. We'll also show you alternate letters of their names. But what are these flatbreads? First time I've ever said that.
Can you name these flatbreads? Here they are. We've got 5 of them. Yes, A, FCCI. B, LVS. C, BNOK. D, NA. And EMTO. There you go, 5 flatbreads. Andrew and VJ, you're our low scorers, so you get to go first.
OK. Well, we don't know one of them. And of the other ones, Andrew knows 2, and I know the other 2. And I'm going to take a risk and go with E, and that is matzo.
Matzo, E-matzo, say Andrew and VJ. Now then, Roz and Dec, can you talk us through the rest of those flatbreads?
1 is focaccia. 2, I've no idea. C is a bannock. D is naan, and we'd like to go with bannock.
C, bannock. So we have matzo and we have bannock. VJ and Andrew said matzo. Let's see how many of our 100 people said matzo for E. That's right. 25. Meanwhile, Roz and Dec have gone for bannock for C. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said bannock. It is bannock. 25 is what it's got to be. Oh, look at that, you've done it. Down it goes to 14. Very well done indeed, Roz and Dec. After 1 question, you are up 1-0.
Yeah, terrific answer. It's a Scottish unleavened bread. As you know, they said when King Alfred burnt the cakes, supposedly there were bannocks that he was burning, apparently. That's what they say. We'll leave B, because no one knows it. A, of course, focaccia, you're quite right. would have scored you 69. Now, D, it's an interesting one, Nan. What do you think Nan scored?
I would have thought in the low 90s.
96 points for Nan.
Good job we didn't go for that one.
And the best answer on the board, it's a tradition in Armenia that a bride has one of these on her shoulder.
Oh, you wouldn't got any sesame seeds down the collar. I'm just thinking lavish.
Oh, it's very close, lavish, actually.
Oh, is it?
Lavash.
There you are. Lavish. Lavash.
Very well done. You still at home. 2 points. Very well done to our Armenian viewers.
Are black sesame seeds just cooked white sesame seeds? That's a question.
They might be unpeeled. You know,
I would imagine having to peel a sesame seed. That would be...
the white ones are really smooth, and the black ones, I don't think they're black all the way through. So
maybe they're a different...
They've still got a coating on the outside.
Black ones are essentially sesame seeds with their shells intact.
That's what I said.
You are right, Ros.
I'm running a food festival.
Thank you very much indeed. Here comes your second question. Now, here's the thing, Andrew and VJ. You've got to win this one, Andrew and VJ. But actually, Ros and Dec get to answer it first, so slightly weighted in their favour. Our second question today is all about Philadelphia.
The cheese or the city?
Yeah, 5 clues now. The facts about Philadelphia. That is the city. You'll be disappointed to hear.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Let's reveal our 5 Philadelphian facts. Here they are. US state in which it is the most populous city. Name of the city's NFL team, winners of the Super Bowl in 2018. Philadelphia needlewoman credited with making the first United States flag. British singer and pianist who had a 1975 top 20 hit with Philadelphia Freedom. And the city that replaced Philadelphia as capital of the USA in 1800. I'll read those clues again. US state in which it is the most populous city. Name of the city's NFL team, winners of the Super Bowl in 2018. Philadelphia needlewoman credited with making the first United States flag. British singer and pianist who had a 1975 top 20 hit with Philadelphia Freedom. And the city that replaced Philadelphia as capital of the USA in 1800. There we are. Ros and Dec will go first.
I think it might be in Pennsylvania. Go on, go for it.
Right. OK. What are you going to go for?
We like the needlewoman, and we think her name is Betsy Ross.
Betsy Ross, say Ros and Dec. Betsy Ross. Now, Andrew and VJ, over to you. Can you talk us through that board?
Well, there's some easy ones and some harder ones up there, Xander.
Yeah.
I think that we're going to go with the state which we think is Pennsylvania.
OK, you're going to go for Pennsylvania. So we have Betsy Ross and we have Pennsylvania. Ros and Dec said Betsy Ross, the needlewoman, credited with making the first United States flag. Let's see if Betsy Ross is right. It is right. That is a good pointless fact. And down it goes to 7. Very well done, Ros and Dec. Betsy Ross. Andrew and VJ have gone for Pennsylvania, the state in which you would find Philadelphia. Let's find out how many of our 100 people said Pennsylvania, if it's right. It is Pennsylvania. It's got Betsy Ross to contend with, though. And down it goes to 19. It's a great answer. But after 2 questions, Ros and Dec, very well done indeed. You are straight through to the final, 2-0.
And you picked the best 2 answers off the board there as well, both teams, so well played. The city's NFL team is the Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. 22 points for that. The British singer and pianist, probably the most famous British singer and pianist, I would say.
Elton John.
Elton John. Scored 48, and of course the city that replaced Philadelphia.
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Which would have scored 65.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round. Oh, Andrew and VJ, you've been brilliant today. Absolutely superb performance across the show. I'm sorry you won't be getting a trophy to show for it, but it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing and playing so well. Andrew and VJ. Right, for Ros and Dec, it is now time for our pointless final. Many, many congratulations, Ros and Dec. You've seen off all the competition and you have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £1,250. Well done. I mean, it's great. You've done it all in one show. I am a bit disappointed, though. I was looking forward to talking to you more about your retirement, Ros. What other things are you up to, Ros?
I'm talking to a man about pumping stations on Friday.
Excellent. Good. What time on Friday?
Morning, 10 o'clock.
Morning. But good time for pumping stations, I think, probably. Deck, more guitars. I mean, what's the next guitar going to be?
I don't know. It depends how much we win, really.
There we are. Well, you know what happens in this round. 4 things appear on the board behind me. What are you hoping will appear?
Anything other than sport, really, for me.
OK, Ros?
Well, I'd like jazz, because then Deck can do it all and I'll just hang around. Or perhaps the Archers.
That would be fun.
Then I can stand back.
Very good. OK, well, let's see.
What about jazz in the Archers?
Oh, yes.
That's quite niche. Well, let's see what today's selection looks like. We have got the Beatles on film, the All Blacks, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and contemporary thriller writers.
You've been mugging up on Wolfgang.
What do we think?
Do you like a go? I mean,
this is scary.
I'm useless on all of them, really. So I think if you know anything about Wolfgang, I'll just watch.
But I like the Beatles as well.
You like the Beatles?
Yeah.
On
Should
film?
we do the Beatles on film?
All right.
You must have seen one of their films.
Yes.
OK, right. Help me out there. Good, right. Can we have the Beatles on film, please?
You're going to have the Beatles on film?
OK, very best of luck. We're looking for anyone credited by IMDb for appearing in any of the following 3 Beatles films. We're looking for anyone who appeared in A Hard Day's Night, 1964, anyone who appeared in Help from 1965, or anyone who appeared in the 2016 film The Beatles 8 Days a Week, The Touring Years, the documentary. So anyone credited by IMDb as appearing in any of those 3. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, you've got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win the jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. You don't have to answer all 3 categories. Just focus on whichever categories you like the look of.
OK.
Are you ready?
Suppose so.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
OK.
Patty Boyd.
She was in...
She was in one of them.
OK, right.
She was a schoolgirl.
Fine. And then Roy Kinnear was in both of those films, I think. Victor Spinetti was in all the Beatles films. We've got John Junkin was one of their roadies in A Hard Day's Night. We've got Phil Collins was in Help.
Look, you choose. You choose. You know far more than me on this subject. You're doing awfully well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if there was any... I like the idea of Patty Boyd, because I didn't know about that, but...
She was a schoolgirl in one of them.
Oh, one of those, right, OK. So, yeah, I'm thinking John Junkin, Patty Boyd, and Roy Kinnear.
OK.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Should we stop the clock? There we go. With time to spare. It sounds like you know your Beatles films quite well, Deck. Let's have your answers.
OK, Patty Boyd.
Patty Boyd, for which one?
Was in A Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's
She
Night.
was one of the girls in the train. John Junkin.
John Junkin.
Was also in A Hard Day's Night.
Hard Day's Night.
And Roy Kinnear was in Help.
Roy Kinnear. OK, of those 3, which is your best shot at a pointless answer?
I would say Patty Boyd, actually.
Really? It's only because you didn't think of
Well,
her.
that's right. If I don't know it, it's...
OK, Patty Boyd, we'll put last. Least likely to be pointless?
Roy Kinnear.
OK, and John Junkin goes in the middle. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Roy Kinnear, John Junkin, and Patty Boyd. 3 great answers there. Let's hope at least one of those is pointless and we'll win that jackpot for you. What would you like to do with it if you won? Ros, I'm going to ask you first.
Well, I'd like to buy a thing so I can look at something and think that was my pointless thing. And I think it would be a small antique chair.
Do you know particularly which antique chair? Have you seen it somewhere?
No, but at the moment, if I have 8 people round, I have to lug a chair from the kitchen and it looks horrible. And
but a small antique chair? Well, maybe someone will sit on it and go...
Well, no,
small, it sounds...
I just don't want anything huge. I can't...
OK, I see what you mean.
Delicate.
OK, delicate, but not too delicate. But
Not too delicate.
All right, good answer. Deck, what would you like to spend?
Well, we like to travel, and it's a long time since we've been to Amsterdam. So this is because Philippa thinks we've been there. This is my wife. She says we've been to Amsterdam often enough. But if I've got the money, I can call the shots.
OK, there we are. Well, very, very best of luck. 3 good answers, as I say. Let's hope one of these will win you that jackpot. Your first answer was Roy Kinnear. This is your least confident shot at a pointless answer, but let's find out for £1,250, how many of our 100 people named Roy Kinnear as member of the cast of Help?
That's a start.
Roy Kinnear is right. Now, if this goes all the way down to 0, you will leave immediately with £1,250. Still going down single figures with Roy Kinnear down to 2. That's an amazing answer.
Good start.
Roy Kinnear. Fabulous answer. Annoyingly, not pointless, though. So we have to turn to John Junkin. Your next answer, in this case, we were looking for cast members of A Hard Day's Night. If John Junkin is pointless, £1,250 will be yours. How many of our 100 people said John Junkin? Again, it's right. Your first answer, Roy Kinnear, took us all the way down to 2. Your second answer, John Junkin, now takes us down a single figure, still going down, you're passing 2, down 1.
It's all down to you now.
Well, let's hope you place these in the right order. Fingers crossed. Your third and final answer was Patty Boyd. In this case, we were looking for cast members of A Hard Day's Night again. If Patty Boyd is right and is pointless, you leave here with £1,250. How many people said Patty Boyd? Oh, no!
Oh, no! Well, she was in something.
No! Well, you thought you didn't know it because it was pointless. Turns out you didn't know it because she wasn't in it. I'm afraid, well, 3, that was a brilliant, brilliant round, though. I'm afraid, though, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer. So I'm afraid you don't win today's jackpot, but don't forget you do each win a pointless trophy. And you've been fantastic right across the show, so very, very well done.
Yeah, terrific performance, very well played. Yeah, Patty Boyd is in it, but she's uncredited in that film. But 2 of our 100 said it anyway, so it wouldn't have, even if we'd accepted it, you wouldn't have won the money. Shall we take a look at the pointless answers? Let's start with A Hard Day's Night. All of these would have won you the money. Anna Quayle, some great old British actors here. Derek Guyler, Lionel Blair was a pointless answer. Richard Vernon, who went on to be Slarty Bartfast in Hitchhiker's Guide. You also could have had there Edward Mallin. Robin Ray was a pointless answer as well. Wilfred Bramble, Victor Spinetti would have scored you 2, and then John Junkin and Norman Rossington were the only ones who scored points in that one. Help now. You could have said John Bluthal, Patrick Cargill, Peter Copley, Warren Mitchell was a pointless answer there. Alfie Bass was a pointless answer there as well, and Bruce Lacey. The scorers there were Eleanor Braun, Roy Kinnear, Victor Spinetti again. And they said he was in all of them, and Leo McKern. They scored points. And those appearances in 8 days a week. Eddie Izzard was a pointless answer, Elvis Costello, Muhammad Ali, Richard Curtis, lots of other names, Howard Goodall, John Savage, Malcolm Gladwell as well. The only scoring answers there were George Martin, Brian Epstein, Whoopi Goldberg and Sigourney Weaver. Everyone else was a pointless answer.
Thank you very much, Richard, and thanks once again, Ros and Dec. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That will therefore roll over onto the next show, when we will be playing for £2,250. Join us then, see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.